Hello, so this is going to be a video where me and my friend Gabrielle, we just talked about our experiences traveling and living here in the Dominican Republic, and we just never made an intro for the video, so I'm making an intro right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to get into it right now, so yeah, enjoy. Okay.
Hello.
What's up? A few more things that kind of wanted to touch on that more has to do with
The Dominican
the Dominican Republic in general. So we made a list. It's a very nice list on the phone.
First is a language barrier.
Yeah, so the language barrier, I think, for both of us is really big because neither one of us speak much Spanish. Like, I know a little bit, like I can get by in like a restaurant scenario like this, no problem. I've learned Spanish, but not as much as maybe I would have liked to. It's definitely something that makes you feel very disconnected from the culture. You have a hard time connecting with people if they don't know English or whatever. So sometimes
I'd say it's 50-50 people who know English and don't.
Yeah.
In my experiences. But it's hard because in certain situations, like you want to be able to communicate something, or you want to like be able to relate to someone in a certain way, but like you physically cannot. Like they don't understand the words that you're saying, and like vice versa. So, for example, like we have some Dominican staff that work in our hostel, and they only speak Spanish, and I always feel so bad that I can't like I can say thank you, like, but I don't know. You can't say like lengthy things to them because like you don't know how.
Like I can have like an actual conversation with them. Like I can like keep it pretty basic, but beyond that, I can't really, you know, take it to like an in-depth conversation. This happens to me all the time. I'll be trying to like say something, and I know what I want to say, but I don't know like one word. I'll tell you one thing that like maybe I don't know. It could be so many different scenarios, and I'm like I don't know the word for that one thing, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, that's really frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. I always feel bad too because like you're in their country, in their culture. Like technically you should be the one who's like knows the language. Like I would never expect a Dominican person to know English just because that's what I know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna let Gabrielle take over this one.
Ladies. In this country specifically, and I haven't done much Caribbean travel, so I don't know if this is an issue on other islands, but safety in general we'll talk about, but specifically like catcalling in the streets is a huge problem here.
Yeah.
I would say every single time I leave the hostel and take a walk or run to the grocery store, run some errands, whatever, men in the streets will call out to you. And they'll call out to you in Spanish and English. They'll say certain words like rubia is the word for like blonde, which I hear a lot.
And then you're not even blonde.
No, I'm not blonde. Sometimes it's sexual, sometimes it's just general, like they just want your attention. And maybe you've experienced this a little bit back home, like in the US it's happened to me definitely before, but every single time I leave
like not
the
this
hostel
level
here. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, it's not an exaggeration.
But here it's like it's completely
it's just normal. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do, you can't report it, it's just a part of the culture. They do it to Dominican women as well. When you're a tourist, you just stand out because you look different. Like I just look different from other women here, so it kind of puts a target on your back. But that's something that in the Dominican Republic, I guess I just wish someone had like properly warned me about it before I came here, because I had no idea it was going to be such a big thing. The best thing to do is just keep on walking, don't give them attention, don't even look, because if they see that they're getting a reaction from you, like it makes them want to do it more.
It wasn't really something that I could talk about personally too much.
I guess like safety in general though.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that you also have experience with.
Yes.
I'm not going to say crime, I'm going to say theft is a big issue. I mean, at least here in Santo Domingo, like theft is like a serious issue. See, like we live in the colonial zone, right? And here it's not really a big deal. I don't think it's not very common here. Colonial zone is very small.
It's a very safe neighborhood.
Yeah,
it's small.
but
it's affluent.
It's like a bubble compared to the rest of the city. Like being in the colonial zone is like being in a bubble. The rest of the city is nothing like the colonial zone. For example, like Gabrielle had her phone stolen like what was it, a month and a half ago, and it was not in the colonial zone. It was actually during Carnival in the end of February.
The neighborhood next to our neighborhood.
I don't know if you want to like explain that situation.
No, I mean, they definitely warn you, like, don't have your phone out when you're walking around, and you hear that a lot when you first get here. And it's 100% my fault because I should have known better, but I was holding my phone behind my back, like kind of clasped in my hands, and someone on a motorbike like drove up behind me and kind of forcefully like grabbed it out of my hands, and it happened so fast I didn't even realize what was going on until it was too late.
Yep.
But again, that's a situation where I don't think you'd have to worry about that at home, and also you can't necessarily record it because you're never going to see your phone again. There's not
It's
much
gone.
of a point.
Basically, it's gone. Like, you're never going to see it.
So petty theft like that and crime, obviously, again, if you're a tourist, you just look different and they assume that you have money because you're traveling. I don't feel particularly safe in the city. As a woman, I wouldn't walk around at night by myself. I never do that. Just being cautious in certain areas.
We got a few more things to touch on here.
Some positives.
Yes, some positives. I have actually talked about it in a couple of my videos about feeling very like a little bit trapped in the city. But the positive being that it's actually quite easy to get out and see the rest of the country. Very affordable as well. So there's multiple bus stations. I mean, even if you just want to go to like a beach for the day, like Wandolio or Boca Chica or whatever, which are each less than an hour outside the city, you can just take a guagua, which is like a public bus here. That's what they call them.
It's like $1.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cheap.
$1 to get back.
Yeah.
Even going to other cities within the country, max they're like 3.5 hours away. It costs you $5 to $7 to get out there. It's really, really affordable.
Yep.
Reliable. They have timetables for the buses. You know when they're coming, when they're leaving. So I was so pleasantly surprised by how well the public transportation runs here.
Honestly, I was very, very impressed with it, especially after being in Puerto Rico when I was there for 6 months, and like public transport, it's like non-existent. Like there are no buses, like nothing. There's none of those things. So coming here, it was like really refreshing.
They do such a good job.
It's really fantastic. Like the public transport is just like top notch. Like it's amazing. It's super cheap. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say other than that. It's just it's amazing.
You know what else is amazing?
The weather. The weather is brilliant here. Seriously.
Perfect. Sometimes it is a little bit too hot.
Yeah.
I would say. If you're used to a colder climate, I'm from Seattle, Washington, and it was definitely an adjustment period. Like the humidity for sure. Dry heat, like dry desert heat is one thing, but humid heat is completely different. I mean, anywhere in the Caribbean you're going to deal with that, but.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you're used to, because I mean, for me, like, before I started traveling, I lived in Florida for 6 years, and it's hot there about 8 to 9 months out of the year, and then I lived in Puerto Rico for 6 months. It's exactly the same as here in Puerto Rico. Like the climate is identical. Even today, like we waited to come out and do this video until 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, because during the day it's just
it was going to be so hot.
Blistering hot.
You can always like suntan. You can always go to the beach. It's always nice weather.
If you go out to the mountains, then it's just a completely different like world. We were in Harbacoa last week. It was just so nice. Like it was still hot, but the humidity was so much lower. You get a couple thousand feet above sea level, then totally different experience. It's a very positive thing. I love the weather in the Caribbean and the tropics. So I think the last thing that we want to touch on here would be it's just like an absolutely like beautiful country. The countryside, the mountains, the beaches, they're just like they're so amazing.
Just the roads, like on either side, they're like lined by palm trees and like I don't know, there's so much like vegetation and like tropical plants and tropical flowers just grow. Like coming from Seattle, there's only one color there and it's dark green. So I didn't realize that like colorful plants and flowers just grow like bushes with beautiful, like right now we're sitting underneath this gorgeous like flowery like
pink flowers all over. It's very pretty.
And it's affordable.
It's very affordable.
Which we talked about.
Which we have talked about.
I really want to emphasize
many times how affordable like food is.
Yeah.
The only thing with food, you kind of gotta be careful. Anything imported that's like, especially frozen things that are imported from other countries are so expensive.
Wine is very expensive.
Yeah, wine's expensive. Ice cream is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, snack foods, I think.
Cheese.
Staple foods are so cheap. Rice, beans, chicken, vegetables, staples are very inexpensive. Overall, there's way more positives than negatives. If you're considering coming to the Dominican Republic, do it. If it's this country specifically, I really would recommend it.
I'm leaving in just over 2 weeks.
That's so weird.
In total, I'm gonna be here for about 4 months. Gabrielle's leaving in like 3 days. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry.
That's awesome though. I've had a great time. I think you actually hold the record of like you've been in more videos of mine than anyone else.
Wow.
I think you're at like, I haven't counted, but probably like
I'm honored.
7 or 8.
I'm a lifetime subscriber.
Yeah.
You could be too.
You could be too. You could be just like Gabrielle. Maybe see you guys again in another video in the DR. If not, then I'll be somewhere else beautiful because I'm going somewhere beautiful very soon. But I'm not gonna talk about that yet. Anyway.
Bye.